Hi, I'm Alexis, the owner and designer at MergeAndCenter, an Etsy shop that specializes in Google Sheets templates. Right now, I'm showing you the Novelist Notebook. This is a tool for anyone who is writing a novel, and it contains tools to help you keep track of the number of words that you're writing every day, your characters, the settings or places in your novel, and your outline of your major events, including your overarching theme as well. When you first get started, you're going to want to start with the Customize sheet down here. This is where you're going to put the working title of your book. This is going to pull through to the headers on all the other sheets. Your total word count goal, which is just going to be 50,000 words by default. And then you can choose a header emoji and a margin emoji. Once you're done with these top 4 yellow cells, the next place you're going to want to go is probably the tracker sheet. And that's because if you're going to be tracking the number of words that you're writing every day, you're probably going to want to adjust this date to whenever you start writing. So if you double click on the very top date cell, you'll get a calendar and you can adjust this date, and all of the dates following will adjust. Adding the number of words that you type each day is going to check the box for that day. You're going to start seeing your progress pie chart turning green here. And you're also going to see the total word count and the daily word average updating as you go. You can link your manuscript here if it's on Google Doc or another online location that you can just link a URL here. And if you're interested in using a Google Doc for your manuscript, personally, I really like this with the book that I'm working on. It's nice to know that I have it in the cloud. I can access it wherever I have internet. It doesn't matter if I have a computer die on me or anything like that. And if you're interested in having a Google Doc for your manuscript, there's actually a template for that that you can use in the upper right here. So this Create Manuscript from Template link, if you click on it, it's going to prompt you to make a copy. And when you do so, you get this template. So you can change the title, put your author name here. There's a table of contents that is just pulling from these headers, and then you can update these to either be the date of your writing or chapter names, and you can kind of adapt those as you go. If you do use that template, just remember to copy and paste the URL at the top of your Google Doc and paste it in here so that you can always have it handy. The next sheet is the character tracker, or the character Bible, as many people call it. Just a quick plug here. These artist sketches are done by a friend of mine called the Sketch Dragon, and she is a fantasy art illustrator and cartographer. So if you need a map drawn up for your world that you're writing about, or you want some illustrations done, I highly recommend you reach out to her, and she is linked on the Customize sheet under Resources. You're going to put character names here. You can use these instructions of selecting the cell, going to the Insert menu, then going to Image, Insert Image in Cell to insert any drawings or photographs that you have for inspiration on what your characters look like. You've got a big space here, but if you want to have longer form notes for your characters, there's also a template for that. If you go to Create Character Sheet from Template and you click on that, it's going to prompt you to make a copy. And you've got a pretty simple layout here. You can add all of your details here, and then don't forget to copy and paste that URL into the link area here. These checkboxes and this menu are completely customizable. So if there are different categories here that you would like to put in, you can absolutely do that. The example that I think of is if I were writing a Harry Potter book about all the characters in Hogwarts, I could have these be the 4 Hogwarts houses as an example, and I could pick out some cool emojis for them and check them to indicate which house each of these characters is in. That's just an example that I can think of, but you can use these checkboxes any way you like. The related characters section over here is going to pull from the list of characters that you already have in this character tracker. If, however, you want to add someone who is not already on your character tracker, you can still type them in. You'll just see a little red flag appear in the upper right of that cell to indicate that that's not actually an option in the dropdown because you don't have that character in your character tracker yet. The places sheet looks almost exactly the same as the characters sheet. You can put your places and put inspirational images here or drawings here. You can link documents if you have longer form documents about these places. You've got customizable checkboxes and a custom menu, and you can also add related characters here. Since we're talking about the characters and the places sheets, let me quickly show you on the customized sheet what those customizable checkboxes look like. So here we have character sheet customizations, and we have a similar looking places sheet customizations down here. This is where you're going to update these attributes if you want them to be different from what they appear now. And you can also change the emojis up that appear when you check those boxes. The custom menu has the yellow background both on the title here and on the drop-down options because you can change the name of your menu. So for example, let's say I wanted personality types here, and I could add some things here. If I go to the character sheet now, you'll see that the header of this has now updated to what I entered in the title, and I now have the options that I entered on the customized sheet. The last sheet is the notes sheet, and this is where you can do any outlining for major plot points or events. There's a space for the central conflict and a space for the central theme. You also see the same progress tracker that you see on the productivity tracker sheet here. For your outlining, you can add all of your major turning points or events that you want here, and then as you think of new events that need to be squeezed in here, you can see I used a 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 kind of scheme to kind of fit a couple of these in between the 1 and 2 that I'd put in here previously. We've got a filter button here, so once you have entered those things, you can sort them A to Z and get them all in the order you want them. I think of this sheet as your anchor. You know, if you feel stuck on something, you're kind of mulling something over, you've got not only your outline to review, but you've also got the central conflict and central theme here, which can really help anchor you to what the story needs to do and what it needs to convey. The last thing I'll point out is that on the customized sheet below all of these customizable fields, we have this resources section here. We've got a couple of tutorials on Google Sheets if you need to get started, a link to the tutorial you're watching now, a link to my friend the Sketch Dragon who can help you with any fantasy art or cartography that you might need, an emoji library because I love a good emoji, and a feedback and suggestion box if you have any feedback on this tool or any of my other tools in my Etsy shop. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a really awesome time writing your next novel with this tool. Have a good day.